I am live. The problem with using this side of my apartment is that it's so bright over there. And you can see the desk and my bed. And I was thinking of sitting on the bed and doing this from the bed next to the window, and it would look better. But I want the table because I'm going to drink some coffee. So I'm staying here. I'm staying right here. And I'm actually going to finish doing my makeup at the same time that I'm talking because I don't have time to do both things in different times. And also my hair because it's like on very weird. Okay, if you're going in and out and you're going in and then you have to go out the video because it's glitchy or because it sounds bad or it looks bad. I mean, of course, I'm sure I look bad, but it is to the point that it's unwatchable. Then please let me know on the chat and tell me that it's glitching because I don't know from here. How does it look like from over there? I really don't know. So I keep talking, and sometimes people tell me, well, you were glitching or you were frozen. And I'm like, well, no, I was moving, but I don't know why it looked like I was frozen. All right, put my legs up. So I sit like this all the time. So, thing with Esme is, I was looking at some stuff that. Remember when she said in her testimony that she was brought to the United States, the false pretense of a job, of a music video that Manson offered to her, offered her to star in his music video for the song "I Want to Kill You" like they do in the movies. And he explained to her, even before she got here, when she was still in the UK with her husband, the minus detail, he explained to her what was going to happen in the video. And he said to her there was going to be 9 minutes, so it's more than one song. It's like a short film, like a longer video. It was going to be 9 minutes, and it was going to be shot on either a phone or just held on camera like this, just so it looks like Blair Witch Project. You know, it looks like that is actually happening to that person. That is something that everybody does in Hollywood. A lot of music video directors do that, and they don't get called rapists because they do stuff like that. Or, you know, you're going to assault the actress on your video because she put in the camera on her face to make it look like she's scared or he's scared or there's a situation, there's a crisis. And it happens in a lot of movies. There's like action movies, they do it all the time. They will film like 5 minutes of the movie with, they will look like it's from a phone. So you feel like you actually are the protagonist in the movie. This is kind of what Manson wanted to do with the video. He wanted to make you feel like you were there with her getting tortured. The video was about torture. He said it's going to be love, death, sex, torture, or love, death, and torture, something like that. In the end, that's it. So it's pretty straightforward. He told her, and also what I found very interesting is that he told all the people about the video. So if you're going to, you have all this blood because you're going to make this snuff movie and you're going to torture this person in real life and you're going to screw them up in real life and make them, you know, just turn them to pulp physically and emotionally abuse them. Are you going to go tell the magazines like Rolling Stones and a lot of the publications about your plans? Are you going to tell people that you have a plan to make this with an actress? At the time, he didn't say her name. He said, I've been looking for actresses because I want to make this video about this. It's going to just be torture. It's going to be a person walking into my place and just getting in a situation. It's going to be it's going to be dark. It's going to be darker than the video from the song Saint, which is an awesome video, but it's messed up. And this is kind of what he does. He wants you to feel like you're there. So in this I Want to Kill You, like they do in the movies, was going to be a video that you will feel like you were there with the girl or the woman or the protagonist, the main person getting murder, torture, whatever. So to make this very realistic, he was going to use cameras. He was going to be the only one doing it. It was going to be his place, his apartment, which is the place above the liquor store with the black walls that everybody talks about. And there's going to be no crew. It was going to be him and her. This sounds scary for people like us. But if you are around the Manson crew and you know what he's about and you know what he's about to do because he's telling everybody, I'm going to make this crazy video, then it's not scary. He's already telling everybody. If somebody calls me and it's a friend of mine that is trying to break in Hollywood, right, and tells me, hey, we're going to make a video, you're going to sit on a chair and I'm going to torture you. First of all, I'm not an actress, but even if I was, I would be like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if we're going to do that. Maybe let's do this in video, but let's do it with a double so my body is not there. But I'm nobody. Okay? This person was already part of the fetish and the bondage scene in London. She thinks because this happens in England, she can get away with like wiping off the internet. In America, nobody's going to know. But the good thing about the internet is it's universal. She doesn't want people in America to know the type of shit that she was doing in England. But all you got to do is go look in Pornhub and go look in fetish sites, totally legal. I'm not asking you to go on the dark web, okay? This is totally legal sites, and you're gonna see her doing foot fetish, doing food fetish, doing blood play, doing knife play, doing just all classic, not too extreme, but classic bondage. That was her life back then when she lived in England. This is not something the Manson put on her head. She doesn't want you, or she doesn't want all of us to think that. So not only he discovered her through Dita Bontis, his ex-wife, but also he kept her in her mind for this video, and he was giving her the opportunity to be in this video, to the point that he was so meticulous about this video that he wrote an email to her, which is supposed to be in either an email or some type of direct messages. Okay, I would love to see the rest of the messages, because probably the messages is probably her saying, whoa, cool, awesome that we're going to do this, great, I can't wait. But they're not showing you those messages. They're just showing you how evil he was, because he's a bit bad wolf, right? But they're not showing you the messages from her saying to him, hey, that's a good idea, let's do it. Or saying, hey, that's a good idea, but let's get some boundaries because I'm scared. Or, hey, okay, I can do it, but let's talk about it. Nothing. There's no messages from her to him. And I do think that she was quite excited about working in a music video with Marilyn Manson, because she was not known at all in America. So, maybe it was a good deal. She wanted to leave that marriage that she was on, that it was really bad for her. I don't know if there was abuse involved or what, but she was very unhappy, and she wanted to leave the UK and come here, because we know if you want to be an actress in movies and TV shows, you got to be in LA. So she made it here. So to me, this looks like a plan, good plan. You got this person that is going to give you housing, or give you housing, he's going to put you in a hotel. He's going to pay for your ticket, which I don't think he did. I think she did. I think she paid for her own ticket, but she's saying that he did, so it makes him sound like a human traffic situation. Pay for the ticket, put you in a hotel, make you the star of his video. He told you what the video was about. You know the lyrics of the song, and you know the video is called I Want to Kill You Like They Do in the movies. He actually told you that you guys are going to be the only ones in the room in the video. He's going to torture you. And he also told everybody else that wanted to hear it. They wanted to hear it, because he was so proud of himself about this idea. He told magazines about it. So let's ask these questions to like ourselves, right? If you're going to do that, you will really gonna go around saying, hey, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get this girl and I'm gonna do this to her, and and blah 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 blah. He told everybody about it. So if he was really planning to hurt her physically, you don't say shit. You just do it. Yeah. And that's how criminals work, you know. I know that. So I work with criminals. And I know how criminals work. And I know how criminals look like. And I know the big shots, the big guys out there, like the Ted Bundys and the Jeffrey Dahmers and all those people. The mental gymnastics that they had to do in order to get away with the shit they got away with is because they look like everybody else. You have Ted Bundy or Jeffrey or any of those people looking like the guy next door. That's why they were not caught in time. That's why they keep killing and raping, because they look like regular guys and they act like regular guys. But then you have a person who is a bit of a weirdo, Manson, and he's acting his whole life, not acting, but he's showing you over and over who he is. He told people that he was going to make this video. How are you going to just make a snuff movie with an actress from the UK that nobody knows, but you're telling Rolling Stone magazine about it? So anyway, what I was saying is that I work with criminals and I know how it goes down. And when a person is very normal, and when a person is like a Chris Watts, okay, you know who Chris Watts is? He's the guy who killed her wife, that she was pregnant, and his two daughters. He snapped one day. He never had a record before, no crime, nothing. One day he snapped and he killed his whole family. I'm not. Every time I talk about Chris Watts, people think I'm defending him. He was very. I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. He said he's in jail right now, and this is the latest case of the normal guy is snapping and doing some crazy shit. So usually, you know, like 75% of the time, 80% of the time, they are normal people. They look normal. They act normal. They're not rock stars that go around with a deep voice and drinking abstain and just making crazy but really cool but crazy videos. That's not the people that commit crimes. So I don't know. Like, that's my opinion. So he told her, this is what's going to happen. I mean, I have it right here. Okay. This is what's going to happen. You're going to come to LA, and we're going to work on this video together. It's just going to be me and you and me, whatever, in my apartment, because I have all the materials and all the tools that I need, and I'm going to make it so real. It's just going to be me and you're the protagonist, and I want the people that are going to watch the music video eventually to feel like they're there with you, either being tortured or they're being witnessing what's happening to you. He said he wants to make it feel really real. Like, okay, the people that made the movie, the Blair Witch Project back in the 90s, or the movie Saw, all those movies, I actually hate that shit. It makes like real criminals look really stupid and scary. And like I said, the big shots don't look like that. They look like the guy next door. So be careful of the guy next door, because there's more chances that guy is gonna snap one day than somebody like Manson or Johnny Depp or Ozzy Osbourne, Alice Cooper. Those guys don't snap and start killing people. I don't think so. So this was a great plan for her. She could leave the husband. She could leave her past behind. She could, come to America, not only to America, but to California, and not only to California, but to LA, and get an agent and work and make it, and just have a career. And at the same time, have this friendship, flirting thing with Manson. Then I think it was happening. She said it wasn't, but I have a feeling that it was happening. So the way I see it is like she's flirting with this guy. She likes him. She said she always loved his music. He was one of her main inspirations in life. She loved the band Tool, and she loved Marilyn Manson. And I think she said it passed about 9 Inch Nails. So she had that style of that taste of music. Um, so this guy that you admire, and this guy is offering you a job, dude, in a city that you've never been to or in a place you've never been to, and you're so hungry for change. So you take it. You take the risk. And that's me. That's exactly what happened. And that's when I stopped believing. I mean, I believe all that. That's it. And then after that, I think the rest is baloney, and it's her exaggerating things and making shit up and putting things together, listening to other women and other victims or not victims, and just listen to his lyrics and to his interviews and putting stuff together. But I do believe that she came here on the pretense, not pretense, on the with the goal of making a video with him. Okay, but it was not a pretense and it was not fake because he was telling people about this video. So it was not snuff film like she's making it out to be. Okay, so this is what he said about I want to kill you like they do in the movies. In 2009, Marilyn Manson shot a music video for the movies. We have previously compared to the video of this 2004 to the song Saint. Remember that video? The song is great. The video is great. It's hard if you have any type of. It's hard. It will trigger you shit if you're supposed to feel some type of way on that video. He made that video from the song Saint, so you can feel things. So this is supposed to be a longer version of the video Saint from 2004, which was also a shock value video. And he said he was trying to show exactly his state of mind and how he was living at the time, 2004. So let's not judge how he was living in 2004, okay, to 2009. Because people change, people grow, people go through changes, people get sober, people get clean, people go back to the drugs, then they go back to get clean. So I'm not judging him for making the Saint video in 2004. I actually like that video, but I'm saying it's triggering in a lot of ways. But he compared this project to that video. So Esme Bianco claimed that Marilyn Manson flew her to LA. I still think that she paid for her own ticket. And she's saying that he flew her, so it sounds like human trafficking. But it's not that expensive to fly to LA. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure she paid for it. I don't think she was that poor. She paid for it. Anyway, she's saying that he paid for it. So let's just go. Let's pretend, okay? Sorry, my tablet is acting up and I'm just reading from here. Okay, but she claims that Marilyn Manson flew her. She claimed, okay, to LA for the video shoot. And her in 2021 interview with The Cut, we know what she said there, right? And Good Morning America. She claimed that she was tied up, locked up in the room, and beaten with a whip. And she was on her knees as well the whole time, supposedly, allegedly, say that. Esme uses this as an example of abuse and being defrauded, trafficked, human trafficked, etc. On April 30th, 2021, Rolling Stone magazine will report Esme Bianco has also sued Marilyn Manson over this. She said it was false pretense. No, girl, it's not false pretense. He's been talking about making this thing for at least a couple of years before he even said this to her. It was not false pretense. It was a goal, and it was something that he had in his head. And he usually has a lot of shit in his head that he wants to make. He's been talking about the Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll movie project he wants to make since like 2007. I've been hearing him talking about that in interviews and how passionate he feels about it. But sometimes in Hollywood, things don't go the way you want them to go, even if you're Marilyn Manson. And that movie was never made. But it wasn't a pretense movie. It wasn't a fake movie. It was not made because situations, production, who knows? So it's the same with this video. It's the same. He was waiting for this video to be made. Then he found her. He offered her the job. And that's it. That's when it stops, for me, at least. And then they start a relationship, which I do believe that it was right away. She says that it wasn't, because I think that If she said that it was right away, then they can say that that sex was consensual. So by her saying, "Oh, we were not together, but he rape me," that makes him rape and not just sex with your boyfriend and girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? It's messed up what I'm saying, I know. But if you are with somebody, and you go to the judge and go like, well, this person, well, it's my fiance, but he raped me, you still should be able to make a case, and you should be heard. You should be, because a lot of times that happens. There's a lot of domestic violence and sexual abuse that actually happens with your own husband. It's crazy, but that happens all the time. But this is not situation, Esme. They were together, and they were together, man. That's what she says they weren't, because this makes him look more of a big bad wolf. Because you're not gonna just abuse your girlfriend, but you're gonna abuse somebody who's not your girlfriend, and you're gonna just look like an abuser just because she's your girlfriend. But she's an actress in a video, right? So you're giving her a job in a city that she's never been in, California. So she has a chance to come here and actually work on her career, which is she stayed in London. She was doing like bondage shows and burlesque shows, and it was gonna stay there. I think if she stayed there, she could have made like Game of Thrones, and that's about it. But coming here, which is give more opportunities for her to just thrive and just grow as an actress. That's what she really wanted to do, Manson or not. But he was the perfect space goat for this whole thing. Like, really, he is just paying for something that he didn't even do. And if you're going to blame him for anything, and if you're gonna say that anything, the only thing that I think he did that it was very stupid is to trust people this much, is to give people the key for his apartment after he met them for a week. That's the thing with him. We can argue that that is not a personality trait that he should be. He should change that, because he trusts people too much. And that reminds me of Johnny Depp, and how Johnny is always helping everybody and always letting people in his house. And Manson did the same thing, and look what happened to him. He trusts people, he let these people in. He never met her before, and she was already living in his apartment. Not everybody does that. So the only thing that who am I to criticize him? But what I'm saying is, the only thing that, if he was my friend, the only thing I would say to him is like, dude, like, next time, just hold on a second before you start texting and just giving your keys of your apartment away. That's the one thing I will say to him. But that doesn't make him a criminal. It makes him, he's high strung, and he jumps to things where he really feels passionate about something. He jumped to it. That doesn't make him a criminal. And for real, for sure, doesn't make him a rapist just because he um, is, like I say, high strung, and he gets in relationships really fast. And then when he's in a relationship for a long time. But then in between was he usually jumps, and that is something that a lot of men are, and women. So I don't know why he's been crucified for just having a sex life and having whatever kinks he has, which I'm not shaming him or anybody that has that. I'm not. But the difference is like that he lives the lifestyle. But a lot of people talk about things that he actually does in real life and not just talks about it. But when he goes to Rolling Stone magazine and said, I'm going to make a video, the name is going to be I Want to Kill Like They Do in the Movies. It's going to be 9 minutes. Love, sex, torture, death, the end. This is how he describes the video. So we as people, as the audience, we already read the magazine. So we already know in our head that he's going to make that video. So tell me how in the fuck he is going to actually torture her and kill her for real if he already told all the magazines, not all of them, some magazines and us and the fans that he's making the video. So how that he's going to get away with it? He already told everybody. Okay, see, that's just logic right there. You don't have to be a fan or stan or whatever you want to call it to fucking understand. That's just like logic. So Esme never mentions in public interviews. Esme never mentioned in public interviews if Richard would. was present for the shoot. She never mentioned that. That is a big detail. If Evan was in the apartment when they were making that video, that is a bombshell right there. But Ashley Walters on her court file, she said that she was getting food and water and sneaking into the bathroom because Esme and Evan were locked in the bathroom, scared of Manson. So Esme and Evan were together in the same room once or twice. And I think this is what how the whole thing was started to brew like a big stew and soup of bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm saying so many bad words today. Why? She will gain more credibility if she says, well, when we're making the video, Evan was also there. So she witnessed my abuse. But she never said that. But then Ashley Walters, which is she's, I think, the most idiotic of all of them, said that those two were together at the same time in the same apartment. So a big mistake there. It's either one or the other. You just can't have it both ways, man. I mean, these people have like big time amnesia. They remember things that happened yesterday. They remember what the songs that he did in 2005. They remember the shows that he was on. They remember when they were to concerts, his concerts in 2016, 17, but they don't remember who was in his apartment. It's a big deal, and it makes things completely take a different turn if Evan was in the apartment at the same time that Esme. Big deal. And I didn't know. I thought they were not together in the same apartment, but it seems like they were. So that it's not a small detail at all, because then Evan pretty much witnessed the abuse, and didn't say anything, and witnessed Manson whipping this woman, and she didn't say anything. What does that make her? If let's pretend that did happen. Let's pretend it happened. She just sit there and just smoke her cigarette and chill. I mean, what type of person, what type of woman? If you're a feminist and you're going, my nose is itchy for some reason. I don't know. If she just sit there and witness the whole thing, it's like, who's worst, her or Manson? I don't think none of this happened. I'm just playing pretend. Okay, there's a couple pictures taken when she got out of the airport. I can't really show them here unless I show them from my tablet. I'm sorry, this is gonna look really ridiculous from my tablet, but these are the pictures of them together right when she got to LA. Okay. And she looks so happy. And this is on those 3 or 4 day shoots in 2011. Let's see, can you see it? That's Esme and Manson. Okay. And that's not a paparazzi picture. That's them hanging out. And that's as soon as she got here, they took that picture. They took a lot of pictures of themselves because they were like testing cameras and stuff. That's kind of what you do when you're making a movie or a music video, whatever. You're testing things with your actor or your actress. So it's very normal that he'll be testing things with her, or maybe ask her to take off her shirt, or ask her to take off her shoes, or ask her to put on some makeup to test the light on the camera. It's not that weird. And that's what he was doing here, that he was doing this. And somebody took this shot of them chilling, and she doesn't seem very scared at all, and they just seem like friends. They were about to do something cool. So the video contains footage recorded on a flip camera. Like, it's supposed to look super scary, like I'm saying, like the movie Saw and the movie Blair Witch Project. You're supposed to feel like you are that girl. You're supposed to feel that you're there. And I get it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Saw and movies like that. Not because they scare me, but they make me laugh. Like, really, I get nervous and I start laughing. But I understand what he wanted to do. He didn't want to do a video like this, the Saint video, that is a lot of production. It has a lot of good shots. He wanted to do something gritty and dirty looking and just low, just low, just low key, and film it with a camera like this. So that's not something that I would want to watch, but not because I believe that it's real torture, but because I believe that it kind of sucks. But if it's him, because I like that song, I will watch it. So that's what he was going for. He was testing it. He was telling people in different interviews that he was going to do this video. So he's very smart. So he was testing people's reactions. That's my opinion. And he told everybody that he was going to make this video. Yeah, if you're going to go about to kill somebody on your house, you're not going to tell everybody about it. So he said the lighting. He said that it was going to be just him and her in the apartment, because that's the place where he had all the cameras and the tools and the materials, and it was a perfect setting. And he had all his reasons for that, which I think they're totally normal. The details from the interviews, severely sadistic. Basically, Manson said, basically murder, sex, death, the end. He told this Rolling Stone magazine in 2009. Okay, so he already has been talking about this thing all over the place. Because on in the video for I Want to Kill You, like doing the movies, I filmed it with a British actress and also directed something brutal. This is Manson, this is his words, not mine. And which will probably never be released for legal reasons with my ex-girlfriend, Eva Richard Wood. He's just saying it right there. He's saying it. Well, we made this video. It's a cool video, but it has a lot of images of violence. I could never release it because of my ex-girlfriend, Eva Richard Wood. He's not saying because the actress, because it doesn't look good, or because the actress messed it up, or because I messed it up. He's saying I won't release it because my ex-girlfriend, Esme Bianco, would. So he knows in a weird way, it's almost like he foreseen it, that he called it, he jinxed it, that he called it. He's like, oh, they're gonna fuck me over. And I don't think he imagined that Esme was gonna fuck him over. But right here in this interview, he's already expressing concern about what Evan is gonna think of it. Because he knows she's just gonna put cement on his head. He said it's a violent portrait. I made it only on one shot, so the whole thing is one shot, like no cuts, which is pretty cool. The spectator, so the audience, will have to decide by himself after seeing it of the way that he's feeling. The audience feels about it, the protagonist, if that person was okay or not. Marriage in my house became a sort of a perpetual shooting, and I'm very happy with the product. He's just talking about it. He's talking about what? Killing somebody? He's talking about the video and everything that I'll be able to capture. And he's a British actress. He didn't say her name, but he said, I don't think I can release this because of the problems with my ex. So he already was foreseeing some type of bullshit was going to happen. He explained that it will be shot on a flip camera for a home video feel, okay? And will involve Manson kidnapping the actress in his home. I need to have a victim-lover vibe going on, he said. He wrote an email to her that he believed that the job will be strictly professional. It was going to be professional. There were going to be boundaries. But he said, you're going to have to pretend to like being manhandled by me. And then he says, I'm sorry, not sorry. That's supposed to be his email. I want to know what her emails were after he said that. And her emails was probably like, oh, cool, let's do it. When do you want me to go there? Yeah, let's talk about it more often. Let's talk about it more. Well, let's just set some boundaries. I want to know more details. I want to know what the limits are. I want to see those emails from her saying those things. Because if we don't, then we assume that she goes like, yeah, and did it, which I think is exactly what happened. So we know the email that he sent, but we don't know the emails or the text messages that she sent back to him. And that, I think, is part of how corrupted and dirty, shady this whole thing is. He said to her, you're going to pretend to like me. Then he says, sorry, not sorry, be no cheeky and funny, okay? Because he is like that. Why people get so surprised by it? Esme Bianco claims that Marilyn Manson pre-warned her how extreme the video will be, but she didn't think it was going to be that bad. I'm just going to read something in a moment. Yeah, so this was extremely a genuine, honest music video planned by Marilyn Manson. It's scripted and directed by him and featuring two actors, Esme Bianco and Elijah Wood, supposedly. Supposedly. This wasn't some secret plan to get her to get Esme in America, in LA, to abuse her in his bedroom. This was not a secret plan. He talked about this with everybody. The video did not see a release of the day, of course not. Marilyn Manson stated in an interview that it would not be a good idea to do this and to release a video. But this doesn't mean that the video was still some excuse for a snuff film. Just because he said, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea to release it," that doesn't imply anything. All it's implying is him saying, being smart, saying, I have some problems with my ex, and she accused me of certain shit, so maybe we should not release this video now. That's exactly what he said. And now they're grasping to that to make him look more of a, just to make him look like the big bad wolf, like I keep saying. So we can really look at this music video project. Well, we cannot really look at it, but we can talk about it and see what Marilyn Manson did plan to have and do. He announced to Rolling Stone magazine he was making this extreme video. He cast his and then girlfriend, Elijah Wood, and Esme Bianco to be on the video. But then he changed his mind and he didn't put Evan on it. He clearly explained to Esme what was going to happen, how the video was going to be shot, and what he was going to do to her on the video, and for how long. It was going to be 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days shooting, like straight, and which is not that weird. I know when people hear, they go like, "Oh my God, 4 days shooting." People here like shoot videos for 20 days without a break. I don't know why is it so strange it is not. To me, it's not. He then does shoot content. Okay, he shot the content, which we don't know. We haven't seen it. With Esme and Richard Wood. But he says he's not planning to release it because it would not be a good idea, because Evan accused him of stuff before. Even if it's not completely, this pop outs. I hate notifications for no reason. So he mentions to the press. Rolling Stone is press. The video was going to be with his ex-girlfriend and his now friend, Esme, which I think they were already together to begin with. That's what I really think. But he's saying that they were not together because that makes it look like rape. I'm sorry to say this so bluntly this way, but if she said we were together, it would just be like up to people having sex and being, not perverse, what's the word for it, kinky or whatever. That's what she's saying, they were not together. But I think they were. So he told everybody, right, about the video. He told her and he told magazines what was going to happen. He was excited about the video. I don't think he bought her a plane ticket, but he put her in the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard, really close to his house, but he still put her in a hotel, which just shows you that he wasn't just trying to be like, "Hey, chick, like just come here and like, just do whatever." The first minute that she steps on LA, he gave her a hotel room. He explained that it would be Okay, I already did that. So now let's see. Okay, so that's what I believe it happened. And that's what a lot of people that I know believe that happened. Oh God, it's so bright in there. Sorry. Okay. This is what she filed. I just can't believe it. These people. I really can't. Okay, this is what she filed. I had to open it. I have like 3 windows opened. Why I do this to myself? Sorry. I don't know if anybody. If Tammy was watching, she would pop on the comments already saying something. Because she said she was going to come later. Where are my... What is this tote? What does it mean? I'm just not on that anymore. Wait, am I still live? I'm such an idiot. Am I? Okay, I think I have to cut this in Okay. I think I have to cut this in yeah, just do it like that. Because I think I have to cut this in yeah, just do it like that. The connection has been a mess. And it's like I'm talking over the video. I think I have to cut this. Okay. Oof. Sorry about that. That was weird. That was really weird. Oh, I'm gonna put my hair down. That was really weird. I mean, if it's like 101 degrees today. It was just showing me that I wasn't on this anymore, and then I started playing and I heard my own voice, and then I was talking and hearing my own voice at the same time, and that was so freaking strange. Sorry, hurting myself so much. Joke. Hold on, I'm gonna put this down. Okay, so amazing. The amazing Esme Bianco that is being told what's going to happen to her. And this is not me saying, well, because somebody tells you what's going to happen to you, they have the right to do it. Hollywood is very dirty. A lot of people just think because you're an actress, they have the right to just like mess you up and touch you and just molest you. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that this doesn't happen to other girls and to women. It happens all the damn time. But I don't think that it happened to her. I just don't think so. If it happened to her by somebody else, maybe. I don't know. Oh my God, my hair. All right, good. I feel better now. Having like super crazy headache. I want to be able to go back to the filing without having to close everything. All right, there you go. Okay, yay. So in April 30th, 2021, this is where she filed this. I'm gonna make it bigger so I can read because it's a pain in the butt. So she filed against him and also against the management that these people already dropped Manson after 25 years of working with him. But she is fighting against Marilyn Manson, Brian Warner, and against Tony Kula management. Because she's saying that the management kind of gave a blind eye to this and let Manson do whatever the hell he wanted to do. So it's the management fault as well. This is what she's trying to go with. Okay, I'm gonna the whole the technical items of the court. We know where they live. We know their names. Mr. Kula. I can't believe that he was just like getting on the mess too. For what? I mean, if Manson is saying this is going to be a video that we're going to shoot in my apartment, and it's just going to be 2 of us. What if she is just trying to get on the management company. And this is just, it doesn't matter because they drop him because they got scared. They got scared and they drop him. Like no loyalty, no investigation, no, hey, listen down, talk about this, man. Did you do this? Where's the proof? Where's the fact? No, nothing. They just drop him after 25 years, and I think that's very damn sad. Without even asking twice, without even waiting for an investigation and to drop him. I mean, if you're gonna do an investigation, you're gonna go to court and all that, and it just seems like kind of shady. It seems like the guy maybe did it. Yeah, drop him there. But he dropped them. Like Tony Kuhle dropped them the same week that this girls came out on Instagram. It was like this, like no second thought at all. Not waiting for proof, not waiting for evidence, nothing. Jurisdiction action in California, different statement of facts. Okay. Esme Bianco was introduced to Mr. Warner in 2005 through his then fiancée, the Talentees. He expressed interest in casting Ms. Bianco, who was beginning her acting career in an upcoming film project. Over the next few years, the film project continued to be delayed. I'm not going to say Mr., I'm going to say Brian Warner. But Brian Warner remained in touch with Esme. Brian Warner floated all the projects for Esme, but none of them materialized for some reason. They don't materialize because not everything here materialized the way that you want it to materialize. There's a lot of conflict and there's a lot of logistics that go into production of film and shoot. I mean, if people are going to be so ignorant that they think that just because something wasn't made, it meant that project was fake. No, it meant that it wasn't freaking meant to be, or it wasn't the money wasn't there, or the means were not there, or whatever. So I'm gonna try to stop interrupting myself. I know. Okay. After Manson's divorce in 2007, he made his first sexual overtures towards Esme. He asked her for nude pictures on multiple occasions. When you use the word multiple, again, I'm not going to do myself anymore, but you know what I mean, multiple. Each time playing the request off as a joke and saying, hey, this is funny. Like, send me a naked picture, haha. He again made references to a potential film project that he was writing for her in 2007. In February 2009, so see who they jumped 2 years. What happened between 2007 and 2009? Why they jump like that? What happened is they were flirting hardcore and just having a thing. This is what she doesn't want people to think that. And in February 2009, Brian flew Miss Bianco to Los Angeles for the first time. They say he flew her, I don't know, allegedly to film a music video for the song, I Want to Kill You Like They Do in the Movies. Esme understood this to be a professional project that will be publicly released after being filmed on a flip camera by Manson himself. Upon arrival, Esme found that there was no crew. He told her on the email that it was just going to be directed and produced by him. That means no crew. Like that means, well, maybe that doesn't mean no crew at all. But I think that he already gave her the yes, he told her that it's just going to be them. I think, yes. I don't know why the fighting is like, oh, no, I just didn't know. With that crew present, she was expected to stay at his place rather than in the hotel they had been previously booked. Through the shoot, Esme was expected to be on call 24/7. I think this is bullshit, first of all. And as a result, she was subjected to sleep deprivation, food deprivation. She was told to wear lingerie and perky outfits as her costume for the music video. She was not provided food during the 4 days that she spent in Los Angeles, but she was given drugs and alcohol instead. I don't think that's. I mean, I do believe that she was given drugs and alcohol because she wanted to take them. And I do believe that maybe she was wearing skimpy outfits around the house, but I don't think that he forced her to do that. I don't know if he was eating at the time. I don't know if he was sober. If he was still doing a lot of drugs, maybe he was not eating. But there's something called delivery. You can just get and order some food from like Uber Eats or something. I don't know. She didn't try to do that. She didn't try to ask for help from anybody. There will be record of that, like phone records, and she actually tried to ask for help. So I'm not saying that all this didn't happen. I'm saying some of this happened, like 2% of it. In addition to these deprivations, Esme she was threatened by physically being beat up by the CN. I don't think that he beat. I mean, what? Okay, why he will beat her up if he's gonna have her practically half naked on a music video that he's shooting right there, and the music video, and the video is really realistic, and it's gonna be a shot of her face, probably this part. Why he will beat it up? She's going to be damaged for the music video. There's no makeup, and he doesn't have a makeup artist in his apartment. They can cover bruises after. Maybe you can cover one, but if she was really, really beat up, that would not be good business for him to make a video with somebody who was beat up already. Because he's supposed to look like she just got there and she wasn't beat up. So why he will do that? Okay. Why he will beat up his own actress? Have her in a state of either being, like she said on the Cut magazine, the black and blue. I don't know, like why he will do that, and why she didn't. There was so many cameras around. Why she didn't take a picture of it, or why she didn't. I'm not saying why she didn't leave. It's hard to leave scary situations. I get it. But why she didn't take a picture? She had her cell phone. She was uploading stuff to Instagram all the time. She had her cell phone. Why she didn't take a picture of his black and blue bruises that she said she had? And she would not be able to make this video if she was bruised all over the place, or so weak, not sleeping and not eating for 4 days and getting beat up. Then she would not be able to work. It was the original idea, wasn't it? So when things go his way, he will do. He's like this guy's like, what, 53 years old right now. So he was, I don't know, 47 over there or whatever, and he threw tantrums that make it sound more of a psychopath when you use the word tantrums, where he will destroy cameras, equipment, and lights and throw objects around the room. He forced Esme to watch an extremely violent movie that caused her to faint. Yeah, this is the girl that worked in Game of Thrones, okay? So let's just make that. He attempted to force her to perform sexual acts on camera with another woman who was present through the shoot. I would love to talk to her about it, whoever this woman is. Perhaps most horrifying thing was Manson locked Miss Bianco in the bedroom, tied her to a prayer wood kneeler, which is what they use in the Catholic Church to pray. You literally, it is for your knees, so you can be there for a while praying. Weird. You could just be into it or not, but I'm not going to judge him having that in his apartment. I don't know. Manson locked Bianco in the bedroom, tied her up to, okay, beat her with a whip. That was the famous picture of her with her back and the whip marks that I think they're rope marks, not whip marks, but that's my opinion. I don't think those marks are from a whip. They're from something else, but I don't know, something else that they were doing or that she was doing. Or maybe it's not even her back. Maybe it's the back of somebody on set of Game of Thrones. I don't know. The fact that she's saying that the movies were so violent and so bloody that she fainted, and this is a person who worked at probably the most violent TV show, I don't know, I will not say in history, but one of the most violent TV shows ever existed. And I love Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is fucked up shit. I mean, people get decapitated, castrated, and she already had that experience, but she was fainting when Manson was showing her some videos that he made or that he found or movies. She fainted. Okay. Also, now they're gonna just add the Nazi thing to it because they have to. Oh, the woman. I don't know who the other woman is. Perhaps most horrifying, Miss Bianco in the bedroom, tie her up to brain near. As I want to say, she was utilized by the Nazis. He also electrocuted her. The electrocution that I think, I don't know why the lawyer is not making that much of a bigger deal in the filing. If I was her, I would make that the biggest deal, not the slapping around, the electrocution. The electrocution that they're talking about is that he did supposedly with something called a violet, like they call it violet wand. A violet wand, you can go to any sex toy in the city around you or on Amazon probably and buy it. So it's not some type of weird torture device that only Manson had. The violet one is something that is used on those type of fetish situations, very light. It's almost like it gives you like a shot, but it's almost like a tickle. Like it's not really a shot. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube of people actually using it on purpose after reading this and be like, okay, well, let's see what all this fuss is about and let's use it. And they do this and they're like, yeah, I mean, it kind of feels nice, but it's not a big deal. Okay. Everett Wood also says that she was electrocuted with this violet wand that you can literally buy at the sex toy in your town if you have one, and if you don't, you can probably buy it online. It's not some dark web type of shit, and it's not something crazy that he found and he used on his girlfriends. This is something that you go to the store and get it. So obviously, if they sell it on the store, they know that people can, at their risk, play with it. It's a play toy. So that there you go. Esme believed that if she protests or complained any of this treatment, she will be seen as unprofessional and better from future professional opportunities. Because she cared about that more. Or worse, then Warner will continue to harm her even more. Plaintiff had never seen any footage from his shoot for this shoot, and upon information and belief, has never been published. So she's worried. I understand. Well, I'm worried because if I say something, he's gonna get mad at me. Okay, but the first item says that she was worried because she was going to be seen as unprofessional and it will bear from future professional opportunities with him. Like what? Like what? That is your prerogative. That's how you're thinking. That is like your that's how your mental gymnastics are working there in your freaking head. You're going, well, yeah, I'm in pain. I'm just, oh my God, I'm in pain. I'm just black, blue, and bruises everywhere. But I can't say anything because I want to work with him in the future. Like, seriously, fuck. Oh. Then the fact that she said, well, maybe I was scared of him, that's more believable in any women in situations we know. You can be super strong and you can have muscles and you can be a super strong woman. But at the end of the day, it's physiologically almost impossible to, I won't say impossible, I'll say almost impossible to take on a guy and kill a guy just with your hands. It's almost impossible. They're gonna overpower us. That's just life, okay? That's physiologically possible. You can be like you can just, I'm not going to call it bodybuilders and people like that because those are just like weird freaks of nature. They have like supernatural strength, but just people like me or anybody, really, if I go try to fight a guy, I will get hurt a lot and he's going to get some scratches and maybe I claw him, but at the end of the day, he can overpower me. And I'm not less of a feminist because I'm saying this. This is just science. So for her to say that he was going to hurt her more if she was scared, that's the one thing that I'm like, okay. First of all, I don't think that he hurt her to begin with, but I'm trying to pretend that he did. So if I pretend that he hurt her, I can understand her saying, I don't want to make him mad because he's going to hurt me more. But I do not understand her saying that she was scared that she was worried about seeing I'm professional and not be able to work with him again. See, that's just like that's bananas. Item 19 says, he assured Esme that the video was going to be edited. So, it was going to be edited. So it wasn't like she was going to be on the kneeling prayer and topless and getting, like the worst was going to be edited, something like that. But then it wasn't. But obviously, it was not going to be edited because he told Rolling Stone magazine years before this that he was going to make the video in one shot. So while he would say to her, the video is not going to be in one shot, it's going to be edited and cut. It doesn't make sense. He blamed others for the disruptions of the video shoot and convinced Esme that he was simply eccentric and misunderstood, as his art was misunderstood. Yeah, I mean, obviously. But I'm reading this. Well, why people on YouTube will be talking about it if he wasn't eccentric and misunderstood? He is. But he's not a criminal because of his misunderstood or he's eccentric. That's what they do to Johnny. He's eccentric. He is weird. He had mental health. He had problems with addiction. That doesn't make him a wife beater. A wife beater. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like you just get somebody who is a little bit different than everybody else, and you're just gonna use them as scapegoat, just like they did in the 90s with Columbine, just like they've been doing for like ages with him, Ozzy, like I don't know, you name it, a lot of people. So then Brian in May 2009 visit Esme in London and they begin a sexual relationship. So after all that shit that she's been through, right? The whipping and the not eating and the not sleeping, she somehow patched things up with him and they stay friends. See, this is what is really hard for me, for a lot of people to believe this part, everything, but this part is really weird. And he let her go back to London, right? Because she's supposed to be this kidnapped prey that he was preying on, but then she went back to London, no problem. And then they begin a relationship, a sexual relationship. I'm glad they put that because they never had a real relationship, a sexual relationship. A year after he did all this to her. Seriously? Throughout this time, sex between Miss Bianco and Miss Warner was consensual. But still, this is what the filing says. He bruised her and bit her and publicly grabbed her, like just grab her, like whatever, just grab her, against her consent in public. He enforced a dress code. This is the thing that they're trying to copy and paste what Evan Richard Wood said about him telling her what to wear, about the dress code. This is where she's going for the same fucking bullshit right here. He enforced a dress code for Miss Bianco during the trip and forced her to sit at his feet during press visits. Wow. I'm dying to see those interviews when he's talking and she's sitting at his feet. Oh my God. Like if that exists, that's just gold. That's pure gold. It says here that he also attempted to bring a minor back to the hotel with him and Meg. I'm not laughing at the minor part. I'm laughing at force her to sit at his feet. They're making him sound like he is like this type of just, like I said, pimp, this type of tyrant, Machiavellic pimp from Game of Thrones or something. Like, he's just like, sit at my feet, woman, sit on my feet during my interview. I would love to see an interview of her. I want to see her on his feet now. I might just sound evil, but I want to see that. If that happened, then this will be footage somewhere, right? So not only all this happened in 2009, which is very weird to me that he didn't do all this before, but in 2009 he unleashed the beast and he did all this, right? After he told people that he was going to make this video. Remember, he told the magazines he was going to make this video with her. And not only that, but she was like so petrified and so scared for her life, really seriously, not eating, not sleeping for 4 days, all that. But then she went to London. She didn't press charges, which she's going to say because she was groomed, she was brainwashed. But also, not only that, she went to London, where she's from, so where she was comfortable around in her country, in England. But then she hung out with him again. I mean, this is really hard to believe, girl. Like, seriously is. And then they were together, and it was a consensual thing. Still, she's complaining that even if it was consensual, he told her what to wear, touch her in public, and forced her to be at his feet. I mean, okay, item 21. After his visit, Esme and Warner maintained a long-distance relationship. They did not have a relationship. Like, I love how these women, like this one and Ashley Morgan especially, they talk about relationship when they hook up with a guy a couple times. Esme seems like she was with Manson longer than Ashley. Ashley seems like she was with Manson for a weekend, and she says 2 years. But Esme and that they develop a really they well, maybe they did, I don't know. It doesn't make a difference if they develop a relationship or not, because she's still lying through her freaking teeth. So even if they are married, I will still have the same opinion of this whole thing. But I love how these women, like, it overlaps each other. Like 2009 he was still kind of with Evan, but then he was with this one. And then also he started being with Lindsay in 2009. And then in 2010, he was with Ashley Morgan and with Lindsay and with this one. It doesn't really make sense. And there's pictures of him in Hollywood holding hands with Lindsay. Lindsay, his wife. Almost to this whole thing. So what? There's like four doppelgangers. He times travels and he's with all these girls at the same time and like different. What he does? How can he do that? How can he? It's not possible. That's not possible for him to just be going around bruising these people and whatever, but then be a boyfriend to his now wife, and get caught by TMZ leaving the movie theaters and walking around with Lindsay, all with Evan, one or the other. So one happened after the other. I don't know for how long these people hooked up. I think it's just a hookup. I think it was just sex. I don't think there was a relationship. The only time there was a relationship was a professional one when they were working on that video. But I don't think they were in a relationship, I think it was just sex, which is okay. I'm not judging, but I don't like when people just exaggerate and because somebody likes you for a weekend or they like you physically, then you jump into the ER with that. They are not. They just like you. They Anyway, it's not. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. These days, who has time? And I know this is gonna sound jaded and cold, and I'm gonna sound like a bitch, but who has time? It's either a hookup or it's either a relationship that it came from a friend. Usually that's what happens. This doesn't happen. This is not natural, organic, or true. It's not. I think the sexual relationship was happening before when they were doing that video. But again, she has a good reason not to say that because that makes him more of a bad guy, and she was just not the girlfriend, but she was prey for him. But I think they were together the whole time. And by together, I mean hooking up and having sex. I don't mean, oh my God, together, like, fiance, gonna get married together, which he was with the other one. He forced the dress codes after the visit. I'm sorry, I do that. After this visit, Esme and Warner maintained a long-distance relationship for several years. It's not possible. Again, several years. But how though? Anyway, Warner flew Bianco again to LA for visits and told her they would shoot videos and record music together. In these trips, no videos or music were recorded. Again, some things don't happen in Hollywood, music industry or film industry the way you want them to happen. That it just comes with territory. So sometimes just because he said, hey, we're just going to make this song and you're going to sing it over my song. If it didn't happen, it's not his fault. A lot of times it's not their fault. Sometimes it's more, there's a bigger picture of why things don't come through. This is just in history, and this is in her fucking head, pretty much. And several years, he was already with his now wife. I mean, like, what the hell? In April 2011, Warner convinced Bianco to move to LA to live with him while he helped her secure a visa. Yeah, get ready, because this is it, the visa. The Manson, not only he was a pimp, but also now he controls immigration. Okay, secure a visa and launch her career in the United States. She already had a visa. You don't just come in here and go up and down, back and forth without a visa. I don't care if you're from England and you think that you're from England or Canada. Even you have to come here with a visa unless you live in Puerto Rico or something, which for obvious reasons that you don't have to. But You have to come with a visa. She already had a visa to work here. That's what I believe. And I don't think that he helped her with it. I think that she got it because she was a model and an actress, and she got a working visa, right? Which is, it's just a permit to work. It's not to kind of stay in the long run. But now she's making it sound like he is helping her with the visa. So by her lawyer saying that he's helping her with the visa, then they can just go into the next item and said that he stopped helping her with the visa. So what an asshole, right? And I think that she had the working visa all along, because there's no way that she would stay here in an illegal situation. It doesn't make any sense to me that an actor will do that. But why? Anyway, no. But they're saying that so you feel even more about her. You feel more, if you feel more sad, and you feel more empathetic, because whatever you happen to be from, we know that a situation, an immigration situation, a situation that you're going to be stuck in a place you don't want to be, it's horrible. And illegal, going to jail, going to prison, being in parole, all those things. You can be from Asia, from America, North America, South America, Europe, and when somebody says immigration, that shit is fucking scary, right? So they put it on the file, so you get scared. You go like, oh my God, he got the visa, so now she has to be really nice to him, or he will remove the visa, and it's not that easy. First of all, I don't think he got the visa. Second of all, even if he helped her to get the visa, it's not that easy for him to terminate the visa, or for him to say, this girl didn't sleep with me. She didn't stay up with me, and she made me turn off the AC, and she didn't have sex as many times as I want her to have sex with me. So now we're going to revoke visa. That's not how it fucking works. Unless Manson is this like all power pimp that controls immigration. And, and it's really hard. Immigration is one of those things that you can be you can be Lady Gaga trying to go to Canada. She needs permission. Isn't this crazy? It's crazy, but it's one of the most, it's so controlled. It's more controlled than guns and drugs and cartel and cocaine, anything. Immigration is not something that you fuck with. And I don't think a rock star has so much pull into what immigration is going to do. I can base my whole case and a whole essay on just that part of her saying that she was scared of him messing with her immigration status. No. I mean, you can send people to jail. You can say like, you're mad. You're just super mad at your ex-boyfriend. You can go like call 911 and say, oh yeah, there's a person wearing red and black down my street. Jail. It's that easy. But immigration is not. Immigration, they investigate. They do. They bring. They do. There's a lot of, it's a due process that you have to go through, and I know that. And you don't just get sent back or sent in or stay back or stay locked or anything without a lot of proof against you. Not just because a rock star is saying to the immigration bosses of the immigration gods, well, kick her out. I don't like her anymore. And this is kind of what she's saying, that if he got mad at her, he will kick her out of the country. That is just beyond. So she kept in the, so she's in the apartment. He kept her in the apartment. He kept her like she was a little kitten, like a little cat, like a little fish, like a goldfish in a bowl. He kept her, really, because she is not 19. What Evan would say, well, they started being together, she was 19. She was kind of stupid. She's still stupid, but she was 19 and he was like super older than her. But this chick, she was not 19. So there's no such thing as, I kept you inside. You couldn't leave. Okay. Again, stay awake, not eating days at a time, just consuming drugs and alcohol. She was not permitted to leave the apartment without permission. Now was she permitted to receive visitors or to sleep and eat. I don't believe that either. The visitors thing, that is a big fat lie. You know why? Because there's a file from Ashley Walters, which is Marilyn Manson's ex-assistant, assistant, that she said that she was there, and she took Esme for a ride a couple times, and they talk about life, and they hang out like kind of besties and stuff. So she was permitted to leave the apartment. Otherwise, how come she was like driving around with Ashley and talking about Manson? With this one, I think this is when they start to do the plan. She was permitted to leave the apartment. Also, at the same time, she was working and she was doing interviews, and she was going to Comic Con for Game of Thrones and all the conventions. She was permitted to leave the apartment. Maybe she had a grasp, maybe he had a grasp, maybe he was texting her 100 times a day, maybe he was being psycho, but she was permitted to leave the apartment. You can't say things like this in court without evidence. What evidence she's gonna have of this? Like what? A text message from him saying, "I miss you. I don't want you to go." Something like that. Would that be enough? No, she was permitted. She was going to conventions. Um, like Game of Thrones had the whole. I mean, I like the show, but I was never a fanatic. But when people get hardcore into the shows, they go to conventions and stuff, and they dress up as the characters, and they want to meet the actors. She was doing that, so she left the apartment a couple times. So Brian Warner kept the apartment in near total darkness. Near total. Yeah, this is really well written. Near total. Near total. They could have said almost. Near total darkness. And insisted, this is what they all said. Remember about the darkness? The darkness, the darkness, the darkness. And insisted the temperature remains at 63 degrees. Listen, I always said in my videos before that I have minus 65. So I'm 2 degrees higher than being a psychopath rapist, I guess. Guess having your AC when you live in California and it's freaking hot every single day. And it's just like, if you're not a person who's into that, some people are, you have an AC. It's not a luxury to have AC. Everybody here has AC. Keeping it at 65 or 63, it's kind of chilly, but it's not frozen temperature. It's really not freezing. You're not going to freeze. Anyway, bring a little jacket. I don't know what to tell you. He was almost frequently verbally abusive. Almost frequently. Oh my God, these people are geniuses. The way they write this, okay? He was also almost frequently, like all the time, but almost. But not all the time, but almost all the time. It's so, in a way, it's like really smart the way this is drafted, and in a way, it's very stupid. And I don't know which one it is. The whole immigration thing to me is the biggest fat lie of the whole thing, because I don't imagine him messing with her immigration status. And everything else is baloney, and I think everything else is a lie. But there's a couple of things that can easily be proven wrong. Like there might be immigration papers right there from her going in and out of the country and doing her movies and her shows, whatever. And there's not going to be a signature of Manson right there, or like, don't let her come in or kick her out. No. I mean, I wait for it. That happens. I bleach my whole self with bleach if I was wrong. But I don't think I am. I do think that there's things that she agreed to do that maybe she shouldn't have. But in that moment, she's an adult. Like I said, she wasn't even like the whole 19 years old. I don't know anything. She was above 25. So they were doing some stuff that they were not, that you and I wouldn't do. But she was quite experienced on that stuff because she was a bondage and a fetish model in London. So even if that stuff was happening that she's describing, she was experienced on that and she knows about it. And so, yeah, but the immigration thing is so funny. It's 63 degrees. The apartment is dark. It is 63 degrees. To me, it sounds like a good time. I'm dying right now. It's like 101 outside, and this is so bright. I hate it. I can't stand it. He was also frequently verbally abusive to her, sometimes in front of others. What is this thing about saying in front of others? This is the second time I read this. On the other item says that he was touching her in front of others. Now says that he was abusive in front of others. Are they doing this because they're planning to bring the others to talk shit? Or the others are Ashley, Evan. That's who the others are, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to put it there. I mean, it doesn't. She expressed discomfort with the violent and sexually graphic films that he was playing constantly and showing to her. She failed to find objects he hid around the apartment. He also frequently became enraged and would violently throw things around the apartment, not at her, they saying around the apartment. Is his apartment. I'm not saying throwing things around is bad, but he paid for the apartment. I mean, I don't think he threw things at her. If maybe a couple times he threw something or he broke a camera, maybe. Again, it's the same with Johnny Depp. When he threw the glass and when he was, slamming the cabinets, you're not a wife beater because of that. This is kind of the same situation. And maybe he got mad. Maybe he gets mad. Maybe he texts people way too much. But all that stuff is just a personality thing. It's not, doesn't make you this just perverse bad wolf at all. It just makes you, maybe you just have to work on a couple of things, just like everybody, just like all of us have to work on a couple of things. On one occasion, besides everybody else, including Rose McGowan and Dita, and all the girls say that he's the nicest, sweetest guy, right? They never had a problem with him, that he's just eccentric and strange, but he makes you feel safe. Rose McGowan in her book described her relationship with him as he was the first person that made her feel safe after the rape that she's been through with Harvey Weinstein. The Manson was the first person that made her feel safe. So come on, you got people like that from the Me Too movement. And you had also a porn star that was with him during this time as well, saying that he's a gentleman and he is a family man and he loved his mom and his dad. He was really sad when his dad died. Remember, he was just all over the place. He loved his cats. That's kind of how I see him. Occasions, Mr. Warner chased Esme around the apartment with an axe, like in the movie The Shining. What he's like, dear, where are you? And all that. I love that movie. I fucking love that movie. And Jack Nicholson in that movie is awesome. I won't say hot. I'm gonna say awesome. He's like chasing the wife around with an axe, just like reason because he's possessed. Well, this is kind of the same thing. Manson never did this before with any of his ex-girlfriends. He never chased people around the house throwing objects, but he did it with this one. Like, okay. And that is item 24. And that's kind of where I want to pause or stop because I don't know who's watching. Oh, I thought nobody was watching. And I thought I was just doing this for later. That was a lot of reading. And I skipped a lot of stuff. So we're in item 25 right now. I didn't get to the unpaid labor part because that's hilarious right there. Like, oh yes, I made my boyfriend breakfast a couple of times. I made him macaroni and cheese, and that's unpaid labor because that's pretty much what she says in the next items that I was gonna read. That he did that. Just because he's a messy guy. Usually some guys are messy. And she picked up around the apartment a little bit. She picked up and she kind of cleaned up a little bit and made it a few snacks. That was unpaid labor. And now, okay, so she made him food and whatever, and she cooked for him and his friends were. So that means so they go, oh my God. See, another thing in my head. So there was food in the apartment if she made this food for him, right? She said that she made the food, and she said that, which things are like, I'm not saying that all guys are messy. I'm not saying that all guys are lazy. But, it is something that you do, especially when you live with somebody. You go like, oh, I picked this stuff today. Tomorrow you wash the dishes, and today I wash them. I don't see that as an unpaid labor. If I keep going, I have to just go and get my iced coffee. So I am going to keep going, but I'm going to walk through the mansion to my apartment and over there, the kitchen, and get my coffee. I just can't. I mean, it's like, what else, you know? Not only he bruise you to the point that you were black and blue, but he whip you, and also he isolate you, even if you were working in a TV show and doing interviews about such TV show. Also, he messed with your immigration status. That's so hard for me to believe. And then you went back with him, okay, and you're with him, and now he's making you do all this stuff, and we're in lingerie all day, 24/7. There's an interview of Manson where he was with Dita when they were already married. No, because they were fiancé longer than they were married, when they were just engaged. That he said, I need to find it. It's somewhere on YouTube. He said to Sharon Osbourne, it's an interview with Sharon Osbourne and Dita Von Teese and Marilyn Manson. At that time, they were engaged. And Manson says, oh, yeah, in my house, we both wear makeup all day, and she has to wear high heels and a skirt all day. He says it as it's just cheeky the way he says it. But you imagine that Dita is a performer, and she lives the lifestyle of glamour, and yeah, she's not a person who just like you're gonna see her in like jeans and a t-shirt and no makeup. She's always being girly. So the fact that he's saying her fiance is saying to her, well, I like her to wear heels and skirts and makeup around the house because I wear makeup myself. I think that's kind of funny. Is that abusive? Is that the dress code that they're talking about? That he say, hey, I take care. Look, maybe just let's both of us do that. Is that abusive? That might not be what you want to hear. You might just want to like be around with no makeup on your face and looking like shit, or just not looking. But you can always say no. You don't have to do it just because he's doing it. You don't have to wear makeup if he's wearing makeup. But Dita at that time made it sound like it was a consensual thing, that they were both glamorous. And they were. By the time when he was with her is when he did the whole age of grotesque, remember? And that album and those videos were so influenced by her, by Dita, and the whole 1930s and 1940s aesthetic. And he was wearing those vests, and he was looking so cute, and it was just glam. It wasn't dark, not in the way that it got dark after that. It was very glamorous. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't see the point. It's like when Lady Gaga, it's when like Gaga has interviews and does interviews in her house, and she's in Folia in full outfit, and they don't say that it's just the way she is, supposedly. So I think it's the same with Manson, and it's the same with these girls. These girls like to dress the way they dress because they like that. And also it's called personal growth, which from Everett Wood case, it's like, well, you were 19, and there's some things that I will now wear what I was wearing when I was 19, but I'm not going to say that somebody forced me to wear it. It was just a bad decision for me to wear that on my face or on my feet or whatever. So that's kind of what I think it's about. People change. You don't have to necessarily blame it on the person you're with, that you're changing, especially artists and especially women. They just experiment with stuff. Men too, but women, I feel like they experiment with their face and their hair constantly. So why blame it on somebody else? Like, I mean, I have red hair. It's fake, of course. And it's going to be like that. And I don't know if it's flattering or not, but it's going to stay this way because I feel that like it. It makes me feel some type of way. So I am not going to just sit here and say that poor Evan and poor Esme, they have to dress sexy for him. I mean, if we live in a world that we cannot, that a guy cannot even give a girl a pair of shoes or a lingerie or whatever and expect the girl to wear it, if we, is that, we live in a society that is so bad that men cannot do those things anymore because, oh, there's got to be some type of agenda. He get you flowers or chocolate or a piece of lingerie. Like, no, he's trying to control you. He's trying to groom you. No. This is the problem with this whole thing. It's not just Evan and Esme. It's everything that happened after that too. This snowball effect of BS. Then now it seems like you cannot even, I'm not a guy, so whatever, I don't know, but from my friends and things that I hear out there, you cannot even look at a girl twice without somebody yelling sexual assault or sexual coercion or whatever the fuck, the grooming and all that, or love bombing. You, because you're just texting a person more than twice, that's harassment. It's very strange. Like, this type of things didn't happen before. I don't want to sound old and say back in my days, but I'm going to say it. Back in my days, a guy was able to get you a pair of shoes and expect you to wear them in the house because he got them for you. Is that what? What is that? Is that rape? Is that assault? I mean, last time I checked, when somebody sends you messages all the time, it might get annoying, but it's cute, isn't it? No, it's harassment. Because if you do it to Evan Richard Wood and to Esme, it's harassment. If you do it to me, it's cute. Like, that is just a whole, where's the line for that? Like I said, this is just 20 years ago. People will be laughing at all these cases. The real feminists from the 1970s, they will be sick to their stomach if they read this. They'll be like, really? Oh, you have to endure a cold black room. Okay. The shit that we've been through, like, these women would not even have a, like, I mean, seriously, just don't call yourself a feminist if you're not going to do the research and look at what and how it came about and what real feminism is. And oh my God, these people have been through hell. Okay. So what I'm saying is, like, if those women, those awesome, brave women from the 60s and the 70s were alive today, they probably are, but they were watching this, they would just think it's such a big circus. They'll be like, oh, so you're complaining because the guy wants you to wear something sexy. So you're complaining because he told you that, hey, I want to stay awake today. Can you stay awake with me and talk? Can we both stay awake? Is that abusive? Because I done it. It's been done to me too. Hey, let's just stay awake. Talk. I don't know. Let's do drugs. We done it. We all done it. It's just really, these women turn the little things, like the little innocent things or just normal things, every daily stuff, into something dirty and just shady, and everything just sounds bad. Like, he cannot take a dump without being abusive to somebody. I'm sorry. Oh, seriously. And there's another case, Jane Doe, where Jane Doe is Chloe Black. Look her up. She wanted to be a Jane Doe, and we figured out that her name is Chloe Black. That she said that he gave her a kimono, a very expensive kimono that he bought for her when he was in Japan. And he gave her the kimono, and he expected her to wear it when he was around. You can say that's a little bit annoying. You can say that's whatever, but that is not really, that's not sexual assault. That's not domestic violence. To say to somebody, hey, I got you this kimono in Japan. Would you mind wearing it for me? Because I really love the way you look wearing that. See, the way I just said it, it's all about how the perception of this is getting so out of control, to the point that just giving a girl a kimono, a woman a pair of heels, and telling her, oh, you look so good when you have your hair red. You look so good with red lipstick. And then you wear the red lipstick. Is that grooming? Are you being brainwashed because you're doing that? So somebody says to me to wear the red lipstick, and I wear the red lipstick. I'm about to. And I do it. I'm doing it for myself. Damn right, I'm doing it for myself. Just like Evan was doing it for herself when she was wearing the heart-shaped glasses. And Esme was doing it for herself when she was wearing the latex outfits and the really cute pin-up looking, vintage looking outfits for herself because she was into that look way before she met him. So it messed me up, it fucked me up. It fucks me up that they make all of us women sound and look and seem so hopeless and so weak to the point that we cannot even make our own decisions, or how are we going to eat, or if the AC is going to be too up and down, or what are we going to wear, because a Manson type of guy is going to come and just tell me what to do. I mean, it's just really, are we that bad? I know I'm not, and I'm not. And it's been done to me. Well, I get you this pair of shoes. I mean, they're really cool. Can you wear them next time I see you? Yeah. See, when I say it like this, it's just life. The same thing with Johnny and Amber. Things that they were so normal, they will be normal for any type of marriage, especially between people that are artistic and open-minded. She made everything that he did sound dirty and violent and insane. Like the text messages, constantly saying to her, I love you, I want you to be part of me, I want to own you, stuff like that that Johnny will say to Amber, or the Manson will say to these women. They made it, they're turning it into something machiavellic and demonic. And it was just like a person. There might be a little bit of jealousy that might be just too out of control, and the person texting you all day might not just be the healthiest thing to do. But that's not that doesn't deserve this. You don't deserve to be canceled because you are high strung and you are intense and you are eccentric. You don't deserve to be canceled. Just like Johnny, he doesn't deserve to be what you might call it, fired from those movies. I'm telling you, I'm not watching Crimes and Grindelwald again. I wanted to show, I have 4 books, besides the novels, but 4 books this big on Harry Potter, behind the scenes and everything. We're like fanatics in my house on Harry Potter. And I'm not going to take them to watch the new Grindelwald because it's going to be a different actor than Johnny. And my son asked me today, he's like, oh, I was looking on YouTube and says that Johnny Depp is not going to be Grindelwald. I was like, oh. And I didn't have the stomach to say why, because he wouldn't understand it. And if I say why, he still wouldn't understand it. He'd be like, there's no proof of that. So why did he lose the role? So I didn't say anything. I said, oh, no, well, he just quit the movie. But I'm not going to go watch it. And it might not make a big of a difference, but it does. It does if everybody's on the same boat. I'm not going to be signing things for her to be fired. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs. I don't want Esme Bianco to lose her job. I don't want Everett Wood to be blacklisted from Hollywood, but I want them to go to court. I want them to I want him to file. Eventually he's going to, and I want them to just be in the same room together and say, okay, here are the emails that you sent me when you told me about the movies. Here was my response. Here was your response. This is what you said about my immigration status. Here it is. I want to see that. I want to see that somehow. And until we see that, not just myself, but a lot of people on YouTube feel the same way. Then I'm just going to still think he's innocent. 100% think he's innocent. Do I think that he made a couple mistakes? Yeah. By being with Rachel when she was 19, yeah, he made a mistake because she was literally a bitch even back then. So yeah, he made that mistake. Yeah, that he made the mistake to trust people too much. and give them jobs just like that and get people into his house without knowing them. Yes, he made that mistake. But that's it. You know, that's just talks that speaks of who he is. And maybe he trusts people too much. Maybe after this he's not going to. You know, it's not like it's not it's really strange, the whole how this woman made it sound like they're so special, like Manson can just pick up a phone and call an agent and get any model or actress that he wants to be on his video. But no, he's getting some chick from the UK. I'm not hating in on the UK. Don't go. She's getting he's getting a chick that lives far away to be on his freaking video. Nobody knows her. Well, Game of Thrones, I guess, but why? He can give local people to it. So that's what I'm saying. They were together. That's what my theory is, that they were together and flirting and hooking up. And he said, "Well, when do you want to just come to LA and then we hook up and we have a lot of sex and do this video?" Okay, cool, awesome. And then she applied for the visa. I think she had the visa before. But okay, let's go with her story. She applied with a visa. She applied for the visa, and then they were not together anymore. So then the visa thinks, "Oh my God, like Manson is just gonna go, Scarface on her." I mean, seriously, he's just the musician. And I'm not diminishing musicians. Musicians have power over us, over the audience, but they don't have political power. He doesn't have the power to go to immigration, okay, and kick her out and say, "I am Marilyn Manson and I'm here to kick out my ex-girlfriend because she's a bitch." They just send her back to London. He doesn't have that power. And it's just, he doesn't even have the powers to make his movies made. As he's been talking about that Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland project for, oh my God, for more than 10 years. And he still hasn't made it because obviously he's not as big as people think he is. He's not this big shot millionaire Elon Musk. He's not. He's just a musician. He's just an artist. So I think just like giving him all this, making him sound and look like he's so powerful, it's just so we women look hopeless and weak. I think this is the big agenda. So we look weak. So we become weak. So we can just go around on Instagram, on Twitter, and call each other sister. I'm not your sister. And fuck you. I don't care who you are. And I don't care how many times you got assaulted. And I don't care if we even share the same assaulted boyfriend that I had. I'm not your sister. Don't do that. Like, I hate that. Just because we're from the same, just let's say we're both Italian, right? And we both got assaulted. Okay, I'm not your sister. I hate that, especially in social media. It's so easy to just sink into the victimhood that they do. And once you have that victim mentality and you start getting attention because of it, and new friends and projects and people see you in a different way, and then you get awards, and then you just get an award just for becoming bisexual. I don't know. It's like a Nobel Prize or something. Like, what did she did? What she did to deserve so many praise for being bisexual? What did she did? I know, but that's an example of they're not going to stop because the attention they're getting and the money they could get if they win, which they're not going to, is I don't know how many. I don't think it's $7 million like Amber. It's not 7 million, but it probably would be like around that if they win. And that's what they're doing it for. And when she said, what Evan said, "I have nothing to gain." When Ashley Morgan said on her Instagram, "You think I like doing this? I have nothing to gain." And then you look on her court filing, and the first word you see is complaint for damages. Damages is cash. It's a fancy word for cash, okay? They're asking for cash. And they're asking him to go to some type of rehab, whatever. But mostly They're asking for cash. They're asking him for cash. They're asking him for freaking money, not for a public apology, um, not to put him in jail for the rest of his life. They're asking for money. So I'm sorry, but I don't really think a real victim will behave like that. And the other day, a person on my video from May 1st, that's the only way that I can remember, I made a little video on Everett Wood joking about rape. And I still think it's disgusting to this day that she did that. But somebody made a comment under the video, and I'm not gonna delete it. I'm not leaving it there. I love it. And this person said, first of all, she said I was dumb, which is not a good idea to do that. But she said I was dumb, and then she said I was assaulted as well, and I know a victim when I see one. And you don't have any evidence of what you're saying, and you're here defending a child molester, a pedophile, a drug addict, an abuser. And I was like, wait. So first of all, you don't know me. You don't have to say that I'm dumb, because I'm not calling you names, and I didn't call her one name. Second of all, you said you've been assaulted as well. So you're not thinking, you're just feeling. You're blinded by hate, and you're blinded by the fact that this happened to you, and you are hurt by it. So you are bounding. It's called trauma bound. You're bounding with all this. And I said to her, I was assaulted too, and I was in horrible situations, but I am not going to accept Evan or Esme or Amber to be the poster child, the poster child, the poster kids, the poster girls, the poster women for abuse. I'm not going to look up to them and say, because of Evan and because of Amber, now I'm going to go to court and file for this, or I'm going to leave my husband, let's say, in a situation like that. No. And we're not sisters. And just because something happened to us very similar, we don't have to agree either. And so she went on saying that I didn't get it. And I was like, well, I think you're not getting it, but have a good day. Because that's how I'm going to respond. Like, if you want to get in a conversation, then let's get in a conversation. But if your argument is going to be, I was assaulted too, so I know they're not lying. And I said to her, I was assaulted too, so I know they're lying. So both things can be valid, and we can discuss it, instead of just completely erasing the fact that he has to be in it. He has to be evil. Look at him. Oh my God, look at him. Listen to his lyrics. The lyrics for the song Kill for Me, where he talks about making a blood pact, and you kill for me, I'll kill for you, and blah, 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 blah. There's another song that he said, I tie you up and I love it. You are tied up and you love it, blah, blah, blah. Look at his lyrics. Oh my God, look at his interviews. All the things he said, it must be true. Okay. If you're going to do that, do it with everybody. Can you imagine? So, for example, somebody like one of my favorite writers, Stephen King, he becomes a clown at the end of the day, and eats children, dress up as a clown, like in his book It. Really, he chases around his wife with an axe, like in the book The Shining. That he does that. The Ozzy Osbourne, the things he thinks about are the things that he does in the daily life. The Lady Gaga actually eats glitter or snorts it, like she says in a couple songs that she snorts glitter like cocaine. That she really does that? No, it's just art, and you might not like Gaga or Manson or Ozzy or any of these shock people I'm talking about, but it's just art, and it cannot be literal. It cannot be, and it's not. So that's it. Oh my God, I've been yapping for 2 hours. It's crazy. I'm going to turn my AC on, and on 65. So I'm 2 degrees difference from Mason to become a psychopath, because he turns it to 63. I'm going to go on 65. I don't think it goes that down. It goes to like 60, which is still not freezing, And like somebody says in a different channel, just, girl, bring a jacket, bring a hoodie. I don't know. Put some leggings under. cold is cold and heat is heat. I don't know. Um, anyway, so yeah, and this didn't. She was not human trafficked. Okay, she was not. There was no threat on her immigration status. If there was, it was not done by him. Who the hell is him to kick somebody out of the country? I mean, seriously, no. And definitely there was no abuse when they were together, as she said that he was grabbing her in front of his friends. And sometimes, I'm not saying that's okay, but I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing people saying, "Hey, this is my girl," and just slap her on the butt, something like that. No, I think it's kind of stupid. I don't think it's evil. I think it's dumb. So I mean, he did it a couple times. Oh my God. Now he's an abuser. The whole thing about her being electrocuted, I already told you what that was, and you can just go look it up and buy one for yourself if you want to. It's called a Violet One. Hmm? And I think it's about $45. And I know because I looked that up. And there's videos on YouTube of these people trying it, like on their hands, on their arms and stuff. It's just fine. You get more of a sensation of pain from a chemical peel, because I do a lot of those on myself, and it hurts. You get sucks. You get more of more pain or electrocution from cosmetic procedures than you get from the Violet One that Evan and Esme talk about, and they say that it was electrocution, and it's just a tickle. It's a sex toy. So that too. So you just have all these things that there. We can just be here and talk about it all day, and as I have been for too long, because it's Saturday, and you see that the problem here is why men are not allowed to be men anymore. You know, this fucker Harvey Weinstein, I know he did it. I know for a fact that he did it, and I know that he should be in jail for it forever. So that was a true case, and there are true ones every day, and it's horrible and it's so sad, and it's happening right freaking now. So I'm not saying the women don't have to be believed, but I'm just not going to go on the hysteria because this happened to me and you, so I have to believe you. Or, oh my God, it's on Twitter, it's trending on Instagram, it has to be true. No, no. And when it comes to filing stuff in court, people usually think, oh, the girls, the Esme filed or Evan filed, so, it's war. Listen, you can go to the courthouse next to your house, right? Next in your town, and file right now. You can file against anything. And that doesn't make it real. It doesn't mean that you have a case. It means that you just file. Okay, you can go and get a restraining order. I had done that, and you get a restraining order, which is temporary, and that's it. It doesn't mean that you won against a person and that person is never gonna hurt you again. That just, yeah. So when they go and say, well, Ashley Morgan, she filed. Ashley Walters, she went and filed. Okay, if there's no court hearing date until I see a date and a time, and where, which is probably in California, somewhere in LA, then I'm going to keep saying this. There's no court hearing, there's no date. So you can go file right now, and go file and against McDonald's because the coffee was too hot, and you're going to just take them to court. It's really easy to take people to court. It's scary how easy it is. And it's very easy to get a restraining order. And it's very easy to get a judge to believe you. So the line between what's real and what's fake is so thin these days, especially because what I was saying back in the day when my grandparents were married, if my grandpa buy my grandma a pair of shoes, it was not abuse. It was like cool. He was doing something nice for her. So I'll leave you with that. Go buy people's shoes and go tell your women or your men to wear makeup, and that is not abusive at all. I just don't believe things that you just see. Well, you don't have to believe me either. actually. But if you want to discuss this, don't say I'm dumb. Okay, because there's one thing I'm not as dumb. I'm a lot of older. I make a lot of big bad decisions, but not because I'm dumb. So we can discuss. We can discuss it. I am not a fanatic. I like Manson as much as I like the next guy. I like Johnny Depp as much as I like Leo DiCaprio. Whatever. I'm not just sitting here listening to Marilyn Manson all day or in the basement, and I'm not 18 years old. No hate, no hate to young fans. But what I'm saying is, like, I've been listening to this guy and I've been watching him in concert for the last 20 years or so. And I've been spit on, not by him, not by him. I think it was Twiggy. Twiggy was spitting on people, and I've been in every situation that you could imagine. My nose was broken in a Manson. My first time that I went to see Manson in '95, Antichrist Superstar tour, some idiot motherfucker, not Manson or the van or people from his. No, nothing. It was not them. No, some weirdo that was like doing mosh on the mosh pit because of course I was like right because I'm tall for a girl. I'm tall, so I was like, I'm just gonna use that for my advantage, and I wore this tall, the big boots, and I'm tall no matter what. So I was like, oh man, and I got right in the front, and I got this in the back. I thought I was such a winner, and the concert that starts, and in the first song I get hit on the nose by some weird asshole that that was doing a mosh over my head, over everybody's head, pretty much. And it wasn't even a Manson fan. He was like, he didn't even care about the songs. I don't know. And so I got a broken nose, and it was so funny because I go back to my grandparents' house, and even my grandparents knew who Manson was. So for Ashley, when Ashley Morgan says, "Okay, that's my story about my broken nose and I can't Manson concert," done. With Ashley Morgan says that she didn't know who he was because she doesn't listen to that type of music because she's supposed to listen to techno music, whatever the fuck. She didn't know who. Everybody knows who he is. Like I'm telling you, my grandparents knew who he is, who he was at that time. They were like, "Oh, somebody broke your nose on that concert of that dude that wears stockings." They knew who he was. You know, people might not like him, but everybody knows who he is in one way or the other. So a lot of these people saying, I don't know what he was about. I don't know who he was or he's. I just don't, it's just really getting really hard for me to believe it the more I think about it. When this whole thing started on Instagram, the first week of February 2021, when everybody was at it, and they were all popping, all the accusations were popping on Instagram and on Twitter. For a second, I didn't believe them. But for a second, I was like, oh, shoot, he's in trouble. Because I thought, man, this is just like the power of numbers, and many people, so many, it's a witch hunt. It's like, well, if there's 10 people saying one thing, they might be right. If there's 100 people saying one thing, they might be super right. So that was the one thing that I was worried about, that they might be taken serious because there's so many of them, supposedly. But also there's so many people that say good things about him. So if you put it, it balances himself up. You have like 7 accusations or something like that, and 3 people that file in court. Only 3. Ashley Morgan, Esme, and Ashley Walters. Just 3 filings compares to all the people that have good experiences with the guy, working with him, being with him as girlfriends, or just, I mean, it seems more positive than negative to me. I'm gonna go because I have to drink some coffee, and this is my hair that I control. I have to go do something about it. And I don't know who's been watching, but thank you. And if you just been listening to my nonsense for 2 hours, were you? Tammy, are you here? Because I got in here pretty much because somebody said, oh, I missed your live, just I'm gonna come back, and I'm here now. It's too hard to go do anything, so I'm just gonna here and do some stuff on the computer and watch some documentaries. Funny enough, and not funny at all, I was watching a documentary about human trafficking last night. I couldn't even sleep after watching that. Real human trafficking, not Esme Bianco human trafficking. And I was gonna play the playback, but it's too messed up. It's way too triggering and messed up. I already seen it, so I know what to expect from it. But I don't want to play it on a video. First because I don't. I mean, I could not show it, but I could play it, and you know exactly what human trafficking is. Okay, it's not what happened to Esme, and immigration status being revoked, or what is it called? Deportation, and a threat. It's not what's happening to her. It didn't happen, and it hasn't happened yet. Unpaid labor. Like I said, you're making mac and cheese, a grilled cheese sandwich for your girl, for your boyfriend, and you're picking up like he's trash, because sometimes people are messy, and I have a feeling that maybe he might be. You washing the dishes, unpaid labor. I guess I've been unpaid labor in my whole life. Then, so those things are just so silly. If this filings didn't have so many silly things on it, I might be more able to be like, wait, But the amount of silliness is such that it goes. There might be like two things here. For example, I do think that he texts them way too much. I do think that he should not have them in his house right away. But then there's so much crap that makes it so that it's just pure silliness to me. Every time that I feel, which is like with Amber, every time that I felt that there was something on it, I'm like, okay, maybe I have to believe her. I'm a woman. Maybe I just have to believe her. Then she would say something dumb, like, "Oh, he kidnapped me for 3 days in Australia and didn't let me leave the island." I'm like, okay, Amber, no. So we have a little bit of a sliver of a choice, of a chance for me to believe your case. But the moment you're talking about being kidnapped in an island, then you lost me. These people don't understand that these details, they're so spectacular, so fantastic, and so dramatic. They're like from a fucking movie. I hope somebody makes a movie about this in the future. And I really hope, and I pray, or just chant, or wish out to the universe that whatever happens, happens in his favor, man. Because these people they need to go. They're not gonna go to prison. Even Richard Wood is never gonna go to prison. She doesn't. She goes to prison. She won't make it. But they're not gonna go to prison. But they need to be represented in some way. They need to be held accountable for canceling a person and for getting a person fired from every job that he had. So I think he's gonna be okay. It's gonna get. That's usually what I say, I think, because I don't want to just leave in a negative thing. I think he's gonna be okay. Oh yeah, he's been in. Thank you for reminding me. He got arrested. Well, he turned himself in, which is different than getting arrested. And people go say, "Oh my God, Manson got arrested in Hollywood in the police station." No, he turned himself in and got himself out the same day without a bail. So pretty much what he did was super smart. And I know some people say, well, he shouldn't have done that because that makes him look guilty. But I think it's actually smart that he did that, because it makes him look like he's following the law and that he cares about the law and the rules. So that woman in New Hampshire that he supposedly spit on, I think he spit on her camera. I saw the video. He did. He spit on her camera, but she said that he spit on her 7 times, which is like how did the guy is singing, doing his thing, and walking, where the fans were like in the main pit, but he stops and spit on her 7 times. No, I don't believe it. But he did spit once. And in some states, that is, that's assault. To me, it's not. And if you look it up, the definition of assault is when you do something against the other person's will. Pretty simple. this wasn't against her will. She was taking pictures of him and he spit on her camera. It's an incident. It's not an accident, it's an incident. So for an incident, you can go to prison. But the good thing that he did was he turned himself in. So that is, they stamp it, and now he is free of those charges. And maybe have to go and pay him the $35,000. I'm jumping. I'm talking to the lady, the spitting incident. You know what? If he has to pay $35,000 to get it out of his bag, that's just a little bit of cash for him. That's not a lot of money to get it out of his bag. Maybe do it, but not these people, because this is just like, if people are gonna think oh my God, you're so gross because you spit on people. Okay, let them think that, but don't let them think that you're a rapist. Funny story. Oh, I already said that Twiggy was spitting. I got a broken nose, and I was not spit on, but my nose was broken, and it didn't really it didn't got fixed or anything. It didn't break in a part that it would just be done for fucking ever. It was just broken like right here, right? So I had like a big scar for a few years, and people be like, "Well, you got in a bar fight or what?" And I'm like, "No, that happened in a Marilyn Manson concert." And then they just look like, "Oh, okay, I won't fuck with you then." But that stuff happens. It happens to fans. It happens to journalists. It happens to, when you get a job, and this lady accepted the job, you have the research, the talent that you're going to go do coverage of. You're going to go to a concert, Justin Bieber, and you need to know that you're going to have a bunch of little girls and some guys just grabbing your hair and just pushing you around because you're working for Justin Bieber. That's as an example. So if you know you're going to be taking pictures of Manson, and he usually hates cameras, and he usually, when he sees a camera, whatever, he spits on it. It's not the first time that we see him doing that. She should have known better. And the fact that she left and was so traumatized by it, this were her words, that she left and she told her husband, well, she should not be a witness. Husbands should not be witnesses, especially because the husband was in the house, not in the show. And they made this whole thing up. And it didn't really make the whole thing up because he did spit on her direction. But it is an incident. It's not assault. Assault, you seriously has to be against your will, or for you to not even know that it's happening against your will. Okay? So let's say he tied her up. Okay? And then he spit on her. Well, that's like double, okay? Because he spit on her against her will because she was tied up. Let's just make an example like that. He spit on the direction of where she was because this dude spits, man. And sometimes it's not even on purpose. Sometimes he drinks water and spit it. Can you imagine people go to see Ozzy Osbourne back in the day where he would just get buckets of water? I remember in the Ozfest, he would do that. Like buckets of water, okay? And he just like would dump it on the fans. And it was great because it's always hot when you go see somebody, usually. And can you imagine if people go around and go like, "Oh, I got a cough and I got sick because Ozzy Osbourne threw water on my head." Like, man, stop being so weak. Madonna said something funny the other day. She said, "Life is not that hard. People are too weak." And I really do believe that. I believe life is hard as fuck if you are if you live in a place where it depends. Like, but for people who live in America, North America, Europe, no, life is not that hard. Okay. And there are things around it that you can just do. And you're not completely doomed for the rest of your life because you had one bad experience with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. No, it's not. It's not going to fuck you up forever. Like I said, I'm not going to just side with Amber or with Evan because we have a similar story. We don't, because that shit didn't happen. But even if we don't. Another thing about Evan, before I go, Evan said there was two people that raped her. One was Manson. The other one was a bartender in a bar in LA. So I want to know who that guy is and go do something to him. if this is true, if he did this to her, right? And you don't want to just protect all the women that might go to the bar and get hurt the same way that you did. Why she's not naming him? Because naming people, they're nobodies like me, like that guy. Naming people that are not famous doesn't pay you, girl. It doesn't give you any connections. It doesn't give you any praise. It doesn't give you any attention. Why she's not naming that guy? He's out there assaulting people. Then, if we pretend this is true, because I do think there's a part of her, there's something happened to her. I just don't think it happened with Manson. I think she's just using him for that. But why she's not naming that guy? That's just that's just common sense. I mean, that's really scary that she's just gonna sit on her butt for the rest of her life and her career without naming the person that sexually assaulted her. She said there was two. She cannot take that back because the internet doesn't lie. There's so many interviews of her saying that there was two people. One was an intimate partner, and then we know now that she was referring to him. And another one was a bartender in LA. How powerful a bartender in LA? It's just a freaking bartender in a bar. Obviously, bartender in a bar. How powerful he can be that you're so scared of naming him. Either it didn't happen, or it did. I believe it's like 50-50. I believe that it did happen to her, but it's not cool to name people, that you cannot cancel. To name a nobody, it's not cool. It's not going to bring you anything. So why do it? Well, it's like common sense. And if she's such a feminist, like she says she is, and she just goes around with all this, with a feminist hat on. If she's such a feminist, then she should be naming people, more than people, a lot of people. Every time that she sees somebody getting assaulted, she should name the person. Oh no, it's not famous, so it doesn't matter. Because what they want is damages, which is cash. And I hope he doesn't. Yeah, I already said I hope he doesn't do, but he's not going to. Hopefully, my cat is gonna eat my earbuds. Dude. Come here. Lily. Her name is Lily, and she just like eats earbuds. Even if I got a pair just for her, she wants mine. And she just loves crunchies. What is the deal with this? Here, I give it to you. Sorry, I'm the cat lady speaking to the cat on Saturday. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Whoever was watching, thanks. I do appreciate it. And if you think I'm dumb, that's awesome, because at least you're thinking. Bye.